משנתנו דן, ביאור משנה ב', explanation for משנה ב', משנתנו דנה בחמץ ששהה עד לאחר הפסח. Our Mishnah is a very important Mishnah, very relevant. It's Chametz that remained after Pesach. What do you do with it? Chametz של נוכרי שעבר עליו הפסח. If the Chametz belonged to a non-Jew and the Pesach is over already, mutar be'ana'ah. At that moment, that Pesach is over, you're allowed to get enjoyment out of the Chametz. Hu adin shemutar gam ba'achila. Obviously, if you're allowed to get enjoyment, you're allowed to eat it. It's not obvious. It says mutar ba'achila, and I will learn hana anyway. So why did it says is allowed in enjoyment? It should have said it is allowed in eating, because it's also allowed in eating, and that's the most strict one. And it says, don't worry about why it says permitted in hana. Ela mishum sheshoneh atana beseifa. He wants to use the same structure, and in the end of this Mishnah, it's going to say, "Veshel Israel asur behana." And for a Jew, it's not allowed to be enjoyed, but it is allowed to be eaten. So since is going to use the word enjoy in the end, he wants to use the word enjoy in the beginning. Nakat kan. So he says over here, mutar behana. He's allowed in enjoyment. ובירושלמי מבואר הטעם שלא נקט התנא מותר באכילה. The Yerushalmi says the reason he doesn't say he's allowed in eating, לפי שיש נוהגים שלא לאכול כלל פת של נוכרי, because there's a custom to never eat a bread of a non-Jew. Yeah? ושל ישראל, and how about if a Jew kept chametz on Pesach? What about those? חמץ של ישראל שעבר עליו הפסח אסור בהנאה. A chametz of Israel that Pesach transgressed, passed over it, is prohibited in enjoyment. We don't eat it also, by the way. Yeah. It's also prohibited in enjoyment. משום שנאמר, because it says, ולא יראה לך שאור. It says, it should not sit to you שאור. כלומר, הואיל ועבר על עליו שלא יראה לך שאור, since the person transgressed on the commandment that he should not have in your possession any kind of chametz, kansuhu chachamim. The sage says, now you're stuck with it. You're never allowed to sell it. You wanted to keep it after Pesach, your whiskeys, your vodkas, whatever you have, you wanted to keep. Now that's it. You never be, if you have a store or something, you will never be able to sell them. Kansuhu chachamim. The sages gave him a penalty. שיהיה חמץ אסור בהנאה אף לאחר הפסח. From now it's always prohibited. You're never going to be able to get rid of it. כך הוא פירוש המשנה לפי מסקנת הגמרא. We explain the Mishnah according to the Gemara. והרב מברטנורה מביא עוד פירוש. ברטנורה brings another explanation. שהטעם שבסוף משנתנו מוסף על הרישא, that the reason in the end of the Mishnah goes on the beginning of the Mishnah, and he explains. Chametz של נוכרי שעבר עליו הפסח, it is chametz of a non-Jew that passed Pesach on him, מותר בהנאה, you're allowed to get benefit out of it, שנאמר ולא יראה לך שאור, because it says you're not allowed to have, he is allowed to have, ודרשו שלך אתה רואה, it says yours you're not allowed to have, to see, אבל אתה רואה של אחרים, there's no problem in seeing other people's. And this, by the way, this is a big problem. In America, some stores are owned by Jews. I don't know. I remember in New York, I think Walbaum's. It's like a chain, like Fry's. I think used to be owned by a Jew. So that was a big problem for after Pesach, because he wasn't a religious Jew, and people used to come to him and say, "Sell the chametz and this," and he always refused to do it. And there was a problem from buying from these stores after Pesach. Yeah, you're not allowed to. So, yeah, so there was a whole list of stores that, yes?
So in the modern day, what we would probably do is look at the Hamas product and see when it was produced by it.
It's not only produced, who owned it at the time. Right. So even if you didn't produce it, but a non-Jew, a Jew owns it, you still problem.
So
even if
it's from a Jewish shopkeeper and he says, yes, I've done it, but he missed a loaf and you check the Best Buy date and it's obviously was baked on Pesach.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter where it was baked, as long as it was in his store. He's not allowed to have it in his store.
So it becomes essentially like a piece of clay.
That's why he's never allowed to use it. He's never allowed to sell it.